what's up, Bargain family? Next time you're in Dollar Tree, pick up one of these tumbling tower games. I'm going to share with you what you can make with these. While you're in Dollar Tree, pick up 2 of their wooden boxes. You're going to start off by gluing wooden blocks to the inside corners of the box using wood glue. Then you'll stack blocks onto each other, creating wood block pillars. I did 2 rows on each corner that were 6 blocks high. After I have the blocks glued and the glue has dried a bit, I attach my next wood box onto the top of the pillars. Then I glued wood blocks to the top of this box. I laid them all out so I had one row that was flat, and then to the center of that, I built up a little bit to make this look more like a lantern. I then painted the entire lantern with this nutmeg brown paint from Apple Barrel. I did water it down a bit, and once I had that painted, I decided I wanted to go with a little bit of a darker brown on the top of the lantern. How you stage this is completely up to you. I got some greenery and I placed it inside of my box. I added a pillar candle and that was it. This cost me under $5 to make. It's a gorgeous piece, so easy to make, and I want to shout out J Money, I'll link her in my description, the original creator of the Jenga block lantern. Our next project will only cost you $1.25 to make because you only need 1 pack of the Tumbling Tower game. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue my pieces together with wood glue, creating what is going to be a ladder. The sides of my ladder are 8 blocks tall, and then the steps of the ladder are 3 blocks wide. Now I had enough blocks in my pack to thicken the ladder, so I had 3 stacks on top of each side and step of the ladder. Once the glue is completely dried, the ladder is ready to paint. I painted mine a brown color and then I used some white paint to dry brush on top of that. Now to stage my ladder, I just put a towel, a small little kitchen towel around it so it kind of looks like a little blanket. And then I picked up these vine fairy lights from Dollar Tree. I wrapped them around to create a wreath and then I just placed them on top of my ladder. And there you have it. For just $1.25, I created this decorative ladder. Obviously, this might cost you more if you need to buy paint or wood glue, but just remember you'll have a bunch left over for other projects. For our next project, I'm going to be using these rectangular shaped wood planks from Dollar Tree. They come 8 for $1.25. I'm going to be using 2 of them. I start to glue my wood blocks on top of the planks. I want the entire surface of the planks to be covered in these wood blocks. I then start to create a border around this using the wood blocks, so I have them laying on their sides versus the more wider flat part. And I do this all around the wood planks. Then to the corners of what it is I'm making, I glue down the wood blocks so that they're upward. And I'm going to stack 3 blocks on each corner. I then decided that I wanted the bottom to be 2 rows deep. I don't know if that makes sense, but again, you can see what I'm doing. So 2 rows deep, the same amount of blocks that you see. So 4 in the front and then 2 on the side. Now I need the pillars to completely dry before I attach anything else. So while I'm waiting, I'm going to start creating more rows. These are going to go on the front and the sides of what is supposed to be a crate. Once the glue in the pillars has completely dried, I then attach these pieces that I made. I did use a little bit of hot glue as I attached them just to get them to glue on right away. If I don't use the hot glue, they're going to keep falling, so the only way to get around that is by gluing one piece at a time on its side. Using a little bit of hot glue just makes the process go by more quickly. Then I went ahead and I stained this entire thing with my Minwax stain in dark walnut. I'm staging this with some fake apples. So I used this chalkboard stake that I got from Dollar Tree and wrote apples 25 cents on it, glued that to the front of my crate, and that was it. This cost me under $4 to make, and I really love the farmhouse rustic look to it. Now this is the easiest project beside the ladder. I'm going to be using those wooden planks again from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to go with 6 of them. I'm laying them all side by side, and then I'm going to start gluing my wood blocks on top of this. That's it. You can go with a different pattern. I just went easy peasy, just row beside row. I didn't get too fancy. If you want to get fancy, that's completely up to you. As I poured my wood glue down, I went in with a sponge brush just to make sure that it covered every single surface. I really wanted to secure the wood blocks in into place. I waited for this to completely dry before I moved on to the next step, staining the wood blocks. I used Varathane stain in Early American. That's my absolute favorite stain. You can leave it as is. I decided I wanted to add some handles, so these handles I got at Menards. If you have a Menards near you, let me know because I know it's not a nationwide thing. So I went ahead, just kind of traced out where the handles were going to go on the bottom of my tray, and then I go ahead and I screw these handles in. And what's nice is the wood blocks are wood, so it's really easy to drill holes through them. And there you have a tumbling tower tray. It actually goes really nice with that modern boho decor look. Not gonna lie, this project's pretty easy too. From Dollar Tree, I picked up one of their wooden trays as well as one of their wooden crates. I went ahead and I glued my blocks all around the sides of both the tray and the crate. Then I flipped the tray over and I glued blocks onto the bottom of the tray. To the very center of the tray, I glued down some blocks that I stack on top of each other to give me the height I need for my tier tray. I ended up staining this entire thing with the Minwax dark walnut stain, but I wanted to create a little piece that can go inside of this. So if you have any leftover tumbling tower pieces from another DIY, you can take those pieces and stain them beforehand or paint them beforehand. Then use the wooden planks from Dollar Tree to create little tabletop decor pieces that you can place inside of your tiered tray or on top of a mantle, wherever it might be. This is another piece I really like the rustic look to. You can always sand down your blocks if you want a smooth finish to your stain, but I like when some stain sticks to certain areas a little bit more because it gives it more of that farmhouse rustic feel that I'm really into. Now this is more of a hack than a DIY. If you have a piece of something that you really want to be framed, you can use the wood blocks to be your frame. So I ended up using, I think it was around 2 or 3 packs of wood blocks to frame this piece that I got from Target. It was only $5 and it's a significant piece. This is a piece I'm DIYing, so I used my Cricut to cut out some vinyl that I placed on the chalkboard. I hang this right off the wall and there you have it. I used the wood blocks from Dollar Tree to create a picture frame, and I didn't even have to stain them, and it looks really nice. Finally, I bought this decorative stool at Hobby Lobby, and I wanted more pieces like that but didn't want to spend more money on those stools. So to recreate this, I'm going to be getting a plaque from Dollar Tree, and then I'm going to glue some wood blocks to the bottom of this. Now, it's really hard to cut the wood blocks at an angle. It's very, very hard. So instead, I just decided to leave them as is and just glued pieces down there to create more of what kind of looks like a funny stool and or a table. I think I would like to attempt this again with the Dollar Tree wood slabs. If you're interested in that, please let me know down below because I would definitely do a tutorial if you guys want to see that. So that's it for these tumbling tower DIYs. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you're not subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe, especially if you're into Dollar Tree DIY type of content. I will see you guys next time. Take care. Bye.